name is Morgan.
That's what I sound like.
Yes, totally. Hello, welcome to a video with me.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I don't know how to do these intro things. A long time ago, about a year ago, my best friend gave me a crash course in Hypmic, and it was a trip.
Next fun fact. Juicy Stuffed Pig inadvertently killed his grandma.
Today I'm going to return the favor, and I'm going to try to explain the lore of a game I know a lot about and she probably knows nothing about, which is Identity V, or 5, or it really depends on who you ask. The V means 5, but I just call it IDV.
Considering I don't even know the characters' names, I will just be like, yeah, here comes Ponytail chasing me.
Yo. I don't have every character, like, just disclaimer, there's like 50 something characters as of the time of recording, and they release new ones every few months. So I'm just going to include like some of the main ones, and if this does well, I'll maybe make a part 2 with like some of the people I forgot. Like, I didn't even put Joseph in this, and you know how I feel about Joseph.
Right, he's your man.
He's my man. I didn't even put him in this because it was like, I don't know where he fits in with the lore. He's kind of just there.
He's just there.
So I tried to do people who are connected. All right, so should we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So the plot is basically you play as the detective because you get this letter about a missing girl and you have to go look for her, and there's this like bookshelf with all these diaries about these death games, and so all the games you play, it's supposed to be you reading the diary entries.
I got none of that.
And no one really cares.
I got none of that when I played.
And no one cares about this. His name is Orpheus.
He's down in that drink.
Yeah, he's thirsty. So basically, more plots. So the Manor invites people to participate in games, promising a reward. You know, some people, they promise money or success. It's basically, if you win the games, you get a prize. And then people show up and they drug everyone and make them go crazy, and they hallucinate and kill everyone.
Oh, well, don't you hate it when that happens?
So yeah, so basically everyone's dead. Well, there's only a few characters confirmed alive.
Well, I feel less bad about when I die then.
Yeah, and also it's like the lore is so spread out. You get like one like little thing like per year, and it's on someone's birthday. It's like, happy birthday, Freddy. Freddy is dead.
Happy birthday. You're not celebrating your birthday, you're dead.
Like literally. That's what is like getting lore in this game. Okay, so this is the Veterans game. This is like the default survivors that you get when you download it for free.
Yeah, I played as Thief as a joke for a long time. He sucked.
Thief sucks. Okay. So here's the doctor. Her name is Emily Dyer. She's 32. So her lore is she performed electroshock therapy in the gardener, and she also like opened up this like clinic, you know, for like secret like medical procedures to get money, and she botched an abortion and killed the woman who was also Gardner's mom. So then she threw her body out back in like a dumpster and left it for dogs or something, and then she changed her name to avoid the law.
That's exactly what a doctor is supposed to do. She's supposed to cause harm.
Yeah, lawyer. His name is Freddie Riley.
Freddy's dead.
I don't actually know. He might be dead. He's probably dead. I don't actually remember. He was friends with Ember. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
So every time Morgan plays Ember, she calls him Big Man on campus, like she just said, but she gives him this voice.
Who's on my campus?
She spends the entire match talking about patrolling campus. So Ember was like, he owned a factory for like textiles, and Lawyer was like, yo, you should get this like arms factory for weapons. So he bought it and ruined him financially, and then he stole his wife, and then he fucked his wife.
I don't know how when he looks like that.
Yeah, and his wife is also Gardner's mom, who died in the abortion, so
whoops.
So he wants to kill Doctor for killing his love, who he stole from Ember. This is Gardner. Her name is Emma Woods. She's 22. So basically, after that whole thing happened where like her dad got ruined and then her mom left the family to be with Lawyer, she was sent to an orphanage, which then was later converted into like an insane asylum. So they did electroshock therapy on her. And she kind of went crazy, and she has all these like cutscenes. Like if you do all of like these deduction tasks for her, you can get like cutscenes of her, and she's just like obsessed with this scarecrow, and she's like in love with it, and she's like, oh, my scarecrow. She's also using an alias. Her real name is Lisa Beck.
I can't say I blame her. She kind of went through some shit.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
Thief.
Her name is Creature.
Creature.
So he's connected because he owns the orphanage.
He owns it.
He owns it. And he's kind of a scumbag because he used the orphans to make money for himself. Like, he's obsessed with money. And I got all this lore from the IDV wiki, so if it's inaccurate, blame them, not me. You know, I literally went through all of it to make sure it was accurate. So I know some people are like, Creature loves children, he's a good person. But other people are like, die, burn him with fire. So I don't know what the truth is. So according to the wiki, he would beat kids who didn't make enough money and use children's disabilities as a way to make money. He just really likes money. Like, I know there's a character and like she was missing an arm and he would like be like, I can use her to get some cash. People will feel sorry. He also has the hots for Gardner.
Gardner run.
So he disguised himself. He put himself inside the scarecrow.
Ew.
And then she burned it with him in it. So he's definitely dead.
Good for you, Gardner. I respect her. Honestly. Yo.
Someone's around here on my campus, and I don't like it.
Is the only hunter I'm good at.
Ember.
And even that's debatable.
It's Gardner's daddy. So he's the one who got scammed by a lawyer and went into debt. He tried to commit suicide so insurance would clear his debt and his daughter would survive, but it didn't work. So he like burned his whole factory, so now he's all like, got all these bandages because he's like, he burned himself.
Poor guy.
He's kind of like a good person. I feel really bad for him.
You deserve better, sir.
Apparently he was a survivor originally, but he didn't write in his diary, so he was punished and they made him a hunter. But, like,
Has he not been punished enough?
I know, but like the lore is literally all over the place. I don't even know if that's accurate anymore. Hullabaloo.
Welcome to Cranium Hullabaloo.
Woohoo!
The circus game, as they call it. So this is female dancer, Margaretha Zell. A lot of people just call her Margie for short because Margaretha is kind of a mouthful.
Mouthful, yeah.
So her whole deal is she ran away from home. She lived in this like village and she wanted more, and the circus came to town and this handsome clown named Sergey came and basically convinced her to like run away with him. And so they like fed her like aunt and uncle who she like was living with. They like gave them like sleeping pills, and then she snuck out and they eloped. So she joined as this animal tamer named Natalie. But then Sergey, her clown husband, he actually ended up being like an abusive dick and he would beat her and she had all these like scars. So Joker, who's like the other clown, he was the sad clown, confronts her husband about it and then later gets burned with acid. There's a massacre of the Hullabaloo circus and she's the only survivor.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah. So, smiley face slash weeping clown. Smiley face slash weeping clown. This is Joker. His age is literally listed as 20 plus.
That's a lot of ages he could be.
Yeah, well, the skinny one, because it's like, this is his survivor form and that's his hunter form. The survivor form is listed as 20 plus and the hunter is listed as 35. So, I don't actually know. Maybe the survivor is him when he was younger.
He looks bad for 35.
Yo, he had a kind of a tragic backstory, but he's also kind of a terrible person. So he was the sad clown, and he was like in love with the female dancer. And then when he saw like her like abuse scars, he basically like went after her husband. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing to your girl?" And this guy didn't like it, so he mixed acid into his clown makeup and he painted it on his face, and his face like burned and he's all disfigured. So he went crazy, went on a rampage, killed Sergey, stole his face and his identity. He like cut his face off and put it over his own. So I believe the hunter form on the right is like the hallucination of her thinking it's her abusive husband.
Oh.
And that's why he's so buff.
Okay, yeah.
You know, they also, I noticed the legs on different sides. Don't know what's up with that.
That's a little off.
They messed something up there. He's the one behind the massacre of Hullabaloo because he just lost it.
Oh, okay.
He's a little fucked up.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
So he cut someone else's face off and put it on his own.
Yeah, it's like that one guy who was a killer that I forget.
Oh, yeah, that
He was
one?
based off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like that, yeah. Okay. Acrobat. Mike Morton. So everyone thought he was the one that burned Joker because he, like, in his balls, he has, like, acid or whatever. And I don't know why he owns acid.
Just for fun.
There's something wrong with him psychologically, and I love him. So he's like, no, I didn't do it. Like, I don't have anything against him. But he did notice that one of his acid bottles was missing. So it's implied Circe took it from him. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go replace my missing acid. And he went out to run some errands, and he came back and everyone was dead.
Oh, God.
So he also technically survived because he was running errands when this whole thing went down. When Joker snapped and killed everyone except for the female dancer.
Well, I mean, I guess if you gotta run errands, that's the best time to do it is when everyone's getting killed.
Yeah, so his whole thing, he comes to the manor because he's trying to track down the person who killed his family, basically. And then Wildling.
Woohoo!
His name is Murrow. He's 45. He was an orphan, and his uncle happened to be the circus ringmaster and took him in. But his uncle was like, no, I want like a wild child. Like, you know, like the kids like that are raised by wolves or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted something like that for a circus, so he locked his nephew in a cage with a boar, and he basically wasn't educated, wasn't taught anything. All he knows is boar.
Boar is all I know.
And then the ringmaster's like, look at this child I found in the woods. He's a wild thing. And he eventually escapes because, you know, like abuse.
Yeah. Take that boar and ride into the sunset.
Yeah, he did nothing wrong.
No, he did not.
He literally did nothing wrong.
Ew.
Soul Weaver, this is Violetta. So she doesn't have any limbs. She's just like a torso with a head, with like prosthetics. So her parents abandoned her, and she was taken in by the ringmaster and put in the freak show. Because she was a freak, because this was like 1800s, and people were scumbags.
Right.
And so eventually they got bored of just seeing this girl without limbs, and her adopted father, the ringmaster, like loses interest in her because she's not making him money. So she's kind of like, she gets the spider limbs because she's trying to make money and gain acceptance and love. Her personality traits, she's supposed to be like really kind, but people bullied her for her appearance. So she literally did nothing wrong either. She just has a scary appearance, but she's very nice.
Yeah, nice. And I don't want to bully her for her appearance, but I hate spiders. So sorry, but I'm also going to do what everyone else did.
No!
I'm sorry.
She's so kind, though.
And I respect that. Just maybe don't look like a spider.
She was trying to make money so that she would be loved.
I'll give you money if you don't look like a spider.
The Lakeside game. I find this game to be kind of confusing, so just bear with me here, okay?
All right.
This is Priestess. I actually could not find that much information about her when I did her, so like...
She's a mystery.
Yeah, her like bio section is incomplete, so... And I was too lazy to like look for other resources.
That's fair.
Her. So, she's just like a mystic person, and she follows like these Eldritch gods, you know, that's what her weird circle thing is. And she's like, ooh, this entity took me here to the manor, and no one believes her. That's like all I got. Yeah, we really don't know much about Fiona, but she's one of the strongest survivors in the game, so she's almost always picked for like tournament situations. Seer. Eli Clark. He's 21. His birthday's Halloween. So his owl can see the future, and to gain these abilities, he like made an oath. So he couldn't tell anyone what he saw in exchange for being able to see the future. But then he saw the future of his fiance, her like family's business failing. So he told her, so they were able to save the business. But because he broke his oath of not telling anyone, he basically like lost his abilities. So he's trying to get his seer abilities back.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have tried to fix it without directly saying it.
I don't know.
Maybe he should have been like, you know what, we should totally do this thing instead. I think it'll be really beneficial. I didn't see it in the future, not at all. I'm just suggesting this.
I know, right? Ugh. Barmaid. This is Demi Bourbon. She's 22. She grew up in the slums, and then her mom died, so she and her adoptive brother Sam moved to Europe. They opened and ran a successful bar, and her brother like invented this type of alcohol that was like super popular because it was like his own creation. And then he goes like missing. And she's like not able to be successful at the bar because she doesn't know the recipe for it. And she got this letter one day with the recipe as like a clue to like his whereabouts. So she's at the manor, she's looking for her missing brother, basically. That's her deal.
Okay.
She just likes alcohol.
She likes alcohol and is looking for her brother.
Literally, yeah. She's cool. Coordinator. Martha Bahamfield. So her father wanted a son, so she was raised as a boy, but her mother wanted her to be like a lady. So instead of like conforming to either, you know, gender role, she joined the army, and she was in the cavalry. But then she got interested in the Air Force, and she joined the Air Force, but they wouldn't let her fly anything. They just had her like have the flare gun and like be on the ground and stuff. And then she fell in love with some dude. I think his name was Henry. I can't remember. But the fun fact is this is actually not even her backstory. It turns out this is like a fake identity she constructed, and we don't actually know who she is or anything about her.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
She could be a horrible person and is just hiding
We
it.
literally don't know who she is.
Lizard.
This is Lucino de Roos. He was a reptile researcher. I chose this picture because it has like the reptile face.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to get both. Because I ran out of, like the clown one, it was like taking up so much space. So I tried to just do one picture for this. So he was just really, really into reptiles. And his coworker, who he kind of like didn't get along with super well, because Lucino was a evolutionist and his coworker's a creationist, and so they butt heads all the time over it. It was like, oh, we have this discovery. It's like a snake, but it's also a lizard. And it was just like it's literally just a snake, like so super long with legs.
Oh.
And they're like, oh, we can discover a new species. And so he tested the venom on himself, and it turned him into a lizard.
Well, that sucks.
His defining character trait is he always has his titties out. Lizard form or human form. He's committed to having them out.
They are out no matter what.
Like, I don't care what I look like. I must have
My shirt
out.
will be wide
My
open.
shirt will be wide open. This is the Feaster. You called him the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, he's the Grim Reaper.
His name's Haster. We don't know how old he is. At 124 is listed as his birthday. He was a lake god. And then people visiting the lake, their children started to go missing. I think it's implied he was drowning them, like they were being offered as sacrifices to him. And someone wrote a book about the cult that worshipped him. And then later the entire cult vanished, and so did the author of the book. And all they found at the author's place was a puddle of blood and weird symbols.
Moral of the story, don't write about a lake god and a cult.
It's a theory right now, nothing is confirmed, but he is potentially the writer, and it's just a hallucination that they're hallucinating. He is the god, and it's actually just the person who wrote the book.
Okay.
We don't actually know, though. That's just a theory right now. This is Dreamwitch. She's somehow connected to all these people.
Somehow she is.
Somehow. I don't know. Her lore is really confusing. I did my best, but she's just an Eldritch god. She's like 1 billion years old, and she's also the one who created the snake that turned him into a lizard.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of her things. And she's a girl boss.
Okay, I respect a girl boss.
You know, she's kind of a girl boss. You know, she's the most powerful hunter in the game. Like, she is the best one. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm not saying she's not my favorite, but she's always the first pick in like tourneys and stuff. Okay. Aesop kills everyone game.
Oh.
I just found this art and I'm like, he looks evil here. This is
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, he does.
This is Aesop Carl.
Oh, hey, I play as him.
Yeah, that's who you like to play as. He's the embalmer. His birthday's May 11th. So his lore is his mom died when he was a child, and he was taken in by the guy who planned her funeral. His name is Jerry. Jerry. And he became Jerry's apprentice, and then it turns out Jerry was like playing God, and he's like, oh, you're not worthy of life. So he'd inject them with embalming fluids and kill them. And he also did that to Aesop's mom. And he found out about this, and he's like, ha! So he killed Jerry with his own methods.
Oh.
And then continued on with his work. So, yeah, sad backstory. He's literally a serial killer, though.
Yeah, I mean, I like a good serial killer character, so.
Yeah, he's fascinating. Yeah, so literally, he's embalming people, and he's, like, obsessed with death. So, like, his whole thing is, like, he comes to the manor, and he's, like, looking for the perfect person to, like, kill and embalm. So.
Huh.
That's why it's called Aesop Kills Everyone Game.
Okay, yeah. I play as him because I suck and I need another chance at life.
This is the toy merchant. Her name is Anne Lester. We don't know her age because she's relatively new, but we do know her birthday is 11/29. So she was like born to a wealthy merchant family. Her mother died in childbirth and her father didn't really love her. So her father and her fiance, who she was like arranged to marry, they're like, we're gonna steal her inheritance and run away. And she was somehow able to like get out of it and like use the money to make a toy shop because the only thing that makes her happy is toys because she was like neglected. So Aesop kills her.
Oh, well, you know, he strikes again.
Ganji Gupta. He's a really good cricket player. So he was so good at cricket that the Royal British team invited him to join. So it seemed like this great opportunity, so he joined them. And then it turns out that he was just like kept around as a toy for like the white people living at this mansion. And they kept him locked in this like room, and they just take him out to like, you know, laugh like, oh, look at this guy. You know. So he started a fire on the mansion where he was being captive and escaped.
He's valid.
Yeah.
I respect it. He deserves
like his
rights.
Interests are like toys and like, you know, playing. Like he's very much a good person, but bad circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him.
Postman. This is Victor Grant. He's 23. I wrote that wrong. His birthday's Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a typo.
Oopsie.
He's super socially anxious and quiet. So he just would deliver letters to people and never ask questions. It's like, see his mouth's all stitched up.
Oh yeah.
I think he's implied to be mute. So one of the people he often delivered letters to was a policeman who had a dog named Wick. And then an incident happened and the policeman died. So Victor took in Wick, and it's like his little post dog, and the dog will like deliver letters. His legs are literally animals and flowers.
That's cute.
He's adorable. And he was the one Aesop was like really interested in killing because he liked how he was quiet. So he was like, oh, I gotta kill this guy and embalm him. And then something happened, like Victor disappeared. So he was like, my plans. So then he killed the other two.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
he's a little messed up.
His plans failed, but you know, he didn't let that stop him.
Aesop likes dead people. Like that's his interest is dead people.
He will kill someone.
Us Da Capo. They made an animated version.
Oh.
It's like 2 minutes.
Just
beating the crap out
beating
of
the
him.
absolute hell
out
of this
so
man.
This one is probably the most confusing, and I believe this is the last one I put in. So this is Prospector. This is my main. Norton Campbell is 28. So he was like super, super poor. Born to like a mine family, and his father died of black lung. So he, you know, was stuck he was born into the mining business, and he grew up, but he kind of wanted like more money. He wanted to get out of it. He didn't want to die the same way his dad did. So this old guy, I think his name's like Benny, this old miner who was friends with his dad is like, there's 13 mines that might have gold. You should look for them. So he goes and he looks, but after 12 turn up empty, he's like, screw this. I'm bringing dynamite to this last location. I'm finding that gold. Instead, he makes the mine collapse and everyone dies except for him. So
well, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, he kind of killed a bunch of people by accident.
A lesson learned, don't do that.
Yeah. This is Novelist, Orpheus. He grew up in the manor, and then something happened, and he was orphaned. A lot of these people are orphans, I noticed.
Yeah.
So he became a writer, and he got rich from that. And I literally do not know what's going on with his lore. He might have a daughter, he might not. I can't tell.
It's up for debate.
They just dropped his lore less than a year ago. It's so freaking confusing. I was staring at it forever, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, because a lot of it's just like him hallucinating, so we don't know what's real and what's not.
What's even real.
This is the Entomologist. Her name is Melly Planius. She was a poor manor servant, but then she like married the owner and got rich. They were cool for a while, but then they weren't. And he mysteriously disappeared. She killed him. And she used his money to study insects and become huge in the entomology field.
I wonder what happened to him after his money was suddenly used to study insects.
Oh, where could he have gone?
I wonder.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure she killed him. It's not confirmed, but like, come on.
It seems pretty heavily implied.
She killed him. Little girl. Her name is Memory. She is apparently close to Orpheus. He wants to protect her. She might be a hallucination of his childhood friend, but he thinks she's his daughter. We don't actually know.
Oh.
We literally don't know anything about her.
Okay. Because she might not even be real.
She might not even be real. She might be a hallucination. We're not actually sure. There are too many characters to do anymore.
Punch. Get wrecked.
Yeah, I didn't do either of these two.
Hit.
Joseph's eyeballs. Fun fact.
Fun fact, Joseph has eyes.
Fun fact number 1. These are the same person.
Wait, he's the freaking plague doctor looking dude?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same person.
What?
Yeah.
My life is a lie.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it.
No, it's the same person. You can see he has like the scar in his hand. You can kind of see it in that picture right there.
Oh no!
Yeah.
My favorite version is the one on the left because I can like make close-up of his faces in the one room.
Yeah.
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 So that's the best one.
Okay. Can I go to the next one?
You may move on.
I only have 3 fun facts.
Yeah. I mean, I only had mine in my 3 in my video.
Fun fact number 2. Wildling and acrobat are siblings.
I see. I like. Is this from the same picture?
Yes.
Okay, because it looked like this was a painting of someone like drew just like a painting of him like sadly staring in a window and like framed it.
That's what's the picture. It was the only picture I could find of them together, but they weren't close together. And he's like inside Eden and he's just looking in it. I thought it was funny.
That is funny.
They're technically adopted siblings, but they are siblings.
Okay.
His uncle is also adopted acrobat, so fun fact, we just found out about that recently, actually.
Family.
They're siblings. Okay. I was gonna do these characters canonically fuck, but I couldn't put myself through that. Final fun fact. Victor has ties to the mafia.
Oh, see, I did not expect that from him.
That's who he was delivering letters for.
Oh,
That's why he
okay.
didn't ask questions.
Oh, okay.
And now he's on the run because he was working for the mafia.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it since he's just like, I like animals.
Yeah, I know, he's literally a soft boy, but he also works for the mafia.
You
So-
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you know, and that's the end of my slideshow.
You know, some games have lore and it's just like very complicated.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
And that's not even half of it.
Right, there's a ton more. I think Ember deserves justice
Yeah.
because that wasn't cool.
I fucked your wife.
Yeah, I mean,
Thief and Lawyer are probably the least popular characters, and
I could see why, they kind of suck.
Wildling's not really popular either because he's an old man.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Unless you're into like DILFs. No one's like, woo!
He's not even a DILF. He's
No,
like,
he's literally like
illiterate.
he's a literal like old guy with a boar.
With a pig.
With a boar, so like
I'd want to be his friend though. I feel bad
right,
for
I
him.
would hang out with him on a Sunday afternoon reading the paper, drinking some tea.
That was so specific.
That's the circumstance in which I would hang out with him.
Okay. How do you feel knowing your main is literally just goes around killing people?
Well, you know, something to know about me is that my favorite characters usually end up being serial killers, so I think it's funny that I picked a serial killer to main. I don't condone their actions, I just think those characters are interesting.
Your other character you play, Painter.
Yes.
I just put him in here because we don't know what his game was, so I didn't know who to connect him with. That's kind of why I did these ones, because we know their games. But Painter, it's implied that he killed his mentor and used his blood to paint stuff with, so he's also like a murderer.
I love that I picked murderers.
You have a type.
I wasn't even trying, and I was like, yes, these two.
That about wraps it up. I hope you learned something.
I learned things that I did not know, like I'm still hung up on the fact that the detective is that freaking plague doctor.
Yeah.
That's gonna haunt me at night.
Yeah, if you go in the game, it'll say, oh, we're the same person.
Ew.
All right, thank you for watching. Bye.
The end.